Thank you. I'd first like to thank the Halkominum speaking peoples, the Squamish, the Musqueam, and the Tsleil-Waututh for sharing their lands with us today. I would like to acknowledge the Board of Governors Representative, Jennifer Figner, Vice President Academic, Dr. Tom Roome, honored guests, platform party members, faculty, staff, and of course, our graduates. I come from a family where the most organized part of our house was my father's workshop. As an electrician, he had created a complex storage system for parts, building a unit with long, narrow drawers with galvanized 2-inch pipe strap for the pulls. This system is still in use today. He's 86 years old, and it's been moved 4 times. Now, what gives this away as a system is that it is organized with a good user interface. It's practical. As an 8-year-old, I used to hand him parts and tools when he was wiring or doing numerous house renovations. And my choice of engineering probably had something to do with the work that we did together, especially my supervision part. I got really good at standing around talking while someone else was working hard, which is why I went into management. The message that I want to deliver today is that we are all part of a built and constructed environment. As people living in the modern age, we coexist with technology. And increasingly, and certainly within your future careers, the boundary between you and technology is no longer distinct. It is increasingly hard to know where technology ends and the physical world of us begins, because systems are no longer made of drawer units with distinct pulls. Now, during your education here at BCIT, I suspect that some of you operated boilers through digital control systems, and others have probably used augmented reality instead of going into high-hazard situations. The codes and standards that you need are all online. And the Internet of Things means that unlike people before you in the work world, you can expect that those system-critical parts in your next job will send you real-time data. Plans, project management, and materials delivery are just part of a mobile integrated platform, not to mention timesheets. Does your smart device follow you onto the construction site, or into the airplane hangar, to the port, or out to the estuary? It's already part of all the wearables that you have. And the interface between you and information is simply part of you. We call this operating world the spatial web because of mobile tools. Now, the built environment, it is digital, it is everywhere, and it exists in your home, your car, wherever you hang out with friends, and wherever you work. And all this means is that we are in a new age. And so to the graduating class of 2019, a perspective from my career that I would like to share. And a thought, too, that you consider that your career ahead is now one of the integration of technology and humanity. Now, a story. As a 20-something telecommunications engineer, I went to Pakistan. My job was to help install a radio network which would collect climate and snowpack measurement. The data was to be collected into a software model that predicted how much water would flow into the hydroelectric system there. So I was there during the month of July, soldering away in a lab that with air conditioning was 35 degrees, and then traveling with a team up north into the Himalayas to install the instruments. The leads that I put on, the wires for the devices, were far too long to get a signal out. Nothing could be read. I had to redo all of them. I burnt myself countless times soldering. I learned that putting technology into a remote hilltop village ultimately meant progress, even though it was painful. But even now, I wonder whether I gave enough thought to the local teams that we trained about how they were going to maintain that equipment. In my 30s, I became the general manager responsible for a series of thermal and hydroelectric power plants here in BC. I had plant managers reporting to me and hundreds of employees and contractors that I was accountable for. I still remember very vividly a time at Burrard Generating Station when we were having maintenance done. We were having maintenance done on the cooling water intakes, which are about 3 meters in diameter or 10 feet in diameter pipes, 200 meters long, that bring cool salt water in to circulate and cool the generating units. One day, while I had 3 people in those pipes doing maintenance, the safety isolation for those pipes failed. These were enormous butterfly valves, about the size of a smart car, that were literally the only thing between these folks doing the work and all of Burrard Inlet. Thankfully, those folks got out safely, literally running ahead of the water. And we shut the plant down for a week and retooled our safety protocols. But our systems, controls, and procedures had failed us, and in our humanity, we had failed too. I still shudder to think how close we came to losing those folks. 3 years later, I started another career, thinking about risk, about public safety, and the way that we install and use technical equipment. I believe that if we get economic benefit for creating risk, then we have an obligation to control that risk, whether that risk is computer models or generating stations. At Technical Safety BC, we use machine learning, artificial intelligence, to predict safety hazards. A calculation is made for every gas and electrical installation, and up pops a number giving a probability of whether a hazard occurs, and that's even before a safety officer even goes there. It has been said that all technology is a human endeavor. It is made or installed by people, and as such is imbued with our values, our hopes, our foibles, and our passions. As graduates of the School of Construction and Environment, of the School of Energy, and the School of Transportation, you yourselves are a model of the integration of technology and humanity. Your family and guests here today are rightly impressed with the education that you have received here at BCIT. They know that you have learned the latest technologies and have used the latest tools. And they also know that we don't expect boilers or wire, iron or control systems to have a sense of right or wrong. That means it's your generation who must infuse this fuzzy boundary between technology and humanity with a sense of right and wrong, of ethics, to put people at the center of everything that you do. To get super curious about the person who will come to use the technology you're building, designing, planning, or operating. And just because technology connects to humans directly in the case of a light switch, or indirectly in the case of a digital switch, doesn't mean that someone like me has thought through whether that boundary is safe, smart, or even desired. The new digital interface may not seem like technical equipment, but of course you know it is. From aviation design using computer-aided software, to multimeters to test and installation, to wastewater treatment plant diagnostics, to the online schedule for the ironworks. So to wrap up, I trust you to model your humanity, to demonstrate that people must be at the center of why systems of any description is built. A digital world connects us to the technology in new and different ways, and this opportunity is unique to your generation, and we're counting on you to show us your great leadership. You have all the tools that this great school has equipped you with, and you have the support and inspiration of your loved ones and friends here today, and in your life to come. I wish you all amazing futures.